Hello, I am Stephanie Joy, the attorney at All Things Social Security and Joy Disability Law. Your video is about to start. I just wanted to remind you that if you click the join button below, you can learn more about the memberships offered at a very affordable price that can give you a little more direct attorney answers to your questions. Have a great day and enjoy the video. Hello. A little bit about function report, question number 6. I see this frequently. I even see it from my own clients who are specifically reminded of this. People forget. Remember, 6 is generally about, for most function reports, what you do from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And one thing that is invariably, oftentimes, not included, despite being a significant part of a day, is napping. Napping is such a common part of a person with significant medical, including physical or mental impairments to their day, oftentimes. There's a variety of reasons for that. Sometimes there's a fatigue issue. Sometimes it is a pain issue. Take the pain meds and then go take a 2-hour nap. If it's a mental health problem, such as depression or even anxiety, I see a lot of incidents where, depression often brings on fatigue. So do the medications therefrom. So sometimes it's the depression itself. Person just got to close down for a few hours before rising up to make a presentation in front of the family. We all try to put on our best presentation, even at home, if we have kids or a spouse, that we care about. So the naps are so common on all fronts. And again, they can be medications influenced, a lot of medications. If you look at and I would suggest you should do this anyway for various other reasons in the report and elsewhere in your case. For every medication you take, go to one of the websites like drugs.com, or there's a few of them, and look up the common side effects. Yes, there are rare side effects, but for our purposes here, the common ones. See, if it's the rare ones, you're probably already in the ER. So the common ones, and find out. I would keep print out the list and circle the ones that you experience. That doesn't mean you've proven beyond a reasonable doubt that it's from that particular medication or any medication, but you experience it, and perhaps more so with the medications. It's important to do for other reasons within here, but in case you didn't know, the SSA has to consider the effects of medications on functioning. Okay, but going back to it, the napping, for sleep purposes, a lot of times people with difficulty sleeping at night, a lot of people don't get their full 8 hours. They don't even get 6 or 5, whether it's from pain, restless leg syndrome, anxiety, racing thoughts, excess worry, all those things that provide for a really crappy nighttime experience, aside from chronic pain or positional pain. That impairment right there, insomnia or other, however they're going to describe it, in addition to seeing a sleep specialist, potentially, you're going to want to consider whether that makes you drowsy during the day, where you catch up on the sleep you missed with one or more cat naps. But all those things can play. And I think in your question number 6, they say from the time you get up to the time you go to bed. That's great. But focus also on those 9 to 5 hours in a vague sense. If you need to nap before that 8-hour stretch of time is up, which would be your early afternoon nap, for instance, or late morning, then that signifies that you might not be able to carry on a full-time job as they are typically out in the economy. Got hair blown on my face because I have a little fan on because I have no AC. And while, yes, it takes more than you saying it in a function report to prove it, and whatever you say in your function report, you should be complaining about to your medical providers. So for the purpose of number 6, get it in there, because if it shows up later in properly later, you're complaining about it to your doctors, how you have to nap during the day and this, that, and the other thing, really drive it home at every visit. You know, the tie-in is going to connect later on when decisions are being made, when someone's saying insomnia as an impairment and describing it at the end of their case, maybe at a hearing, and how they have to nap during the day because they don't get good sleep at night, or for whatever reason, pain, drowsiness, daytime drowsiness, then the connection will also be a year and a half early when you put it in your function report. Now, it still has to show up in the medical records for sure, and you want that to be done now, not later. Now, tomorrow, the next day, and later. But you can bring it back and help get an older date of that having started when you put it in your function report, because the function report is generally done on initial. Yes, they are asking for them on recon these days as well, probably because of the delays with initial and recon. And a year later, things could have changed. But those are the things when it comes to napping, it is a big part of someone's day if they're doing it. If it takes out 10%, 20% of that 9 to 5 period of time, that could really, in and of itself, if it were to be medically proven that you do that or you need to do that, that itself would be eliminating most full-time jobs, because that would be intolerable to an employer to allow you to go take a 2-hour nap in the middle of your shift, right? So these are just the little crumbs, guys, that get us there. But I would not leave out the fact that you know, in your number 6, if you do take out an hour, 2 or 3, whether once or twice broken up to nap, you're going to want to put it there. Don't be embarrassed. You're going to want to include it because it's the realities. Okay. And if you don't put it there and you say it later, why would someone believe you? You didn't do it before. Or else at least you know, it's true. It might be that you don't do it now and you could start having that need later. That's fine. You're going to want that documented too. But generally speaking, by the time you're filing, I'd say 80%, 90% of people are taking those midday naps. Just saying, not everybody, but a big hype chunk as far as I see with the people I represent. Okay. I'm going to attach on here kind of a robust old video on number 6 with other tips that you should perhaps consider. And napping is one of them, but there are plenty of others. All right. Have a great day, guys. Bye.